Court reporter is dismissed. It looks like she's already logged off. All right,
Okay,
we have the administrative voting session for March 24th, 2026. Item number one on the agenda is a report from the chief. Chief Clark.
Yes, we have alleged violation that occurred at the Fish Market Restaurant on 3/13/2026 for rule and regulation number one, sale to a minor. In this case, the Inspector North, Inspector Patterson went inside and conducted an under compliance operation with a 20-year-old operative, last name of Gordon. While inside the establishment, they went to the bar and requested a lemon drop cocktail. The bartender served the minor without viewing her identification. This violation was viewed by Inspector North. This particular location does have a previous violation in the past 2 years. On 4/5/2025, they were charged with public nuisance, which is rule and regulation number 10.3, and also rule and regulation number 10.18, refilling that was done in the same night. What would the board like to do in this case?
commissioners,
Show cause.
show cause. Call for show cause. Can we agree to this by unanimous consent? Any opposition? Show cause it is.
Okay, excellent. Next case. Next case gonna be alleged violation at the Los Antojitos Mexican Grill. This violation occurred on 3/8/2026 for rule and regulation number 83, alcohol awareness. In this case, the inspectors went inside on March 8th. It was Inspector Cleanscale, and went in for a routine inspection. This location is 9123 Riggs Road in Adelphi, Maryland. They went and spoke to the manager, Raul Alvarez, who stated that he was the manager on duty. They were asked if anyone on staff was alcohol awareness trained. He presented 2 alcohol awareness certificates. However, they both were expired several years ago, and there was no one else on staff that was alcohol awareness trained at the time. So they were given the appropriate violation, which was rule regulation number 83. And they do not have any previous violations in the past 2 years. What would the board like to do?
Commissioners, what's your
Offering,
desire?
offering compromise, $250.
Okay, we can do this by unanimous consent. Any objection? Hearing none, motion passes.
And just for the record, is that offering compromise $250, no training?
Yes, no training. Offering compromise, no training.
All right, and the last case is going to be an alleged violation at the El Chaparral. It's going to be on 3/7/2026, rule regulation number 83, alcohol awareness. In this case, on March 7th, Inspector Johnson, Inspector Massey went into the location located at 15101 Baltimore Avenue, Suite 110 in Laurel, Maryland. Spoke to the manager, Mr. Louise Ponce, and asked was there anyone on the premises that was certified in alcohol awareness. He said he was, however, he was unable to produce any certificates or documentation verifying his training, and he failed to produce that documentation when given even additional time to produce it. They do not have any previous violations in the past 2 years. What would the board like to do?
Offering compromise, $250.
We can do this by unanimous consent. Any objection? None heard, motion passes.
Okay, that's all I have to report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Chief.
Mr. Camacho. I'll move on. Number two, Dyson's General Store, located at 13706 Brandywine Road in Brandywine, Maryland, 20613. See letter dated March 6, 2026, regarding a request for an additional extension through September 23rd, 2026. This is their first request. What would you like to do with this?
We'll
Commissioners,
approve that.
pardon me, I'm sorry, I missed that.
We can approve that. It's the first
Okay.
extension.
We don't unanimous consent, any objection? None heard, passes.
All right. Next case, Love Life Coffee, located at 929 Washington Boulevard, Lower Maryland, 20707. See email dated letter February 25th, 2026, regarding a request to change the hours of operation. The old hours are listed as well as the new hours. What would you like to do with this?
So noted.
All right.
Okay.
LAX Wine and Spirits and Bistro, located at 11011 Baltimore Avenue, Beltsville, Maryland, 20705. See letter dated March 10th, 2026 regarding a request to close the bistro area of the premises to complete renovations. What would you like to do with this?
So noted.
Thank you. El Mexerino Restaurant located at 5494 St. Barnabas Road, Oxon Hill, Maryland, 20745. See email dated March the 11th, 2026 regarding a notification that they will no longer have live entertainment on Thursdays and Sundays. Would you like to do with this?
So noted.
Thank you. Mile High Restaurant located at 6420 Aaron Lane, Clinton, Maryland, 20735. See letter dated March the 11th, 2026 regarding a request of reconsideration of the January 14th, 2026 decision of the board to rescind the license. The licensees are requesting an opportunity to inform and advise the board in detail of the proposed plan for the license. What would you like to do with this?
Commissioners,
Can we give Mr. Kim an opportunity to give us talk?
Yes, we
Mr.
can
Kim?
ask Mr.
yes, yes.
I am available, Madam Commissioner. I think when they initially filed a request, they sort of miscommunicated with the board what they intend to do. The premises is closed. It's a B plus license, and they're looking for a new location to transfer the license to operate as a B plus licensee, and we have several options available to us. I've talked to my client. I said, what I'd like to represent to the board is that you're not going to use this license for adult entertainment purposes. He said, no, that we're done with that. We're going to just operate as a B plus licensee, as a restaurant and a liquor store. Again, we're looking for a location. We may possibly find a third party purchaser for the license. And again, that'll be a specific condition on the transfer of location of that license, is not to use the premises as an adult entertainment facility. So what we're requesting is that the board allow us to rescind the decision of January 14, allow us to renew the license and give us, at least now for 6 months, a time period for us to find a relocation space, to file a location of transfer application, either with the current licensee or maybe potential third-party purchaser.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
my suggestion to the board is to allow Mr. Kim to provide something in writing on how legally this can be done. Give him an opportunity to do that in writing, with all of the aspects of this, with being a Class B plus license that was rescinded, the fact that the establishment is not open, and what authority does the board have to reissue a license that has already been rescinded and the establishment has been closed. So we need a legal basis for that.
What the board, I mean, again, I think the decision was based on miscommunication, I think, by the licensee. The license is technically good through May 31. I mean, I don't know why, on what basis the board actually even rescinds the license when it's not in violation, it's not revoked. Again, because they have a lease issue, I don't think that allows the board to rescind the license. I mean, I didn't understand what rescinding the license meant. I mean, I think the board can suspend it, revoke it, not renew it. So I think that was initial decision. I think was a little bit suspect in what happened. I think the board can say, I guess the board can revoke the license, but under what theory? I think the only thing the board could have done at that point is, okay, fine. Then, if you don't have a space, you can't renew the license. Well,
Mr. Kim, as I recall, I was one who made the motion to rescind. They didn't have possession of that property for a period of time before they even communicated.
I think it was October.
Right.
And again,
precisely. I mean, if they don't have, there's no property to go to with that license can't be held for that long. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Deloach. Anything after 10 days of non-possession
but no, I
It's
think
my understanding, Mr. Kim, that that's why I wanted you to put this in writing. Okay.
well,
I'm suggesting to the board that you put everything in writing on how legally this can be done, because it's my understanding the license rescinded, revoked, whatever, was not in use since October.
what
Okay.
again? Well, I can certainly do that, Mr. Deloach. But again, my thought process is they sent you a letter saying we're negotiating for a lease. I think the board does have authority to grant extensions for licensees to find relocation space. That I'm certain of because the board has done that and it has allowed licensees to find a relocation space. I think what they did was they just did not articulate what they were trying to do. So I think the initial rescinding of the license, I think, was not properly done. Again, I think the board can say, fine, you can, if you don't have a space, you cannot, we may not renew the license. But again, the board always allows, but almost always allows licensees to find a relocation space when the lease expires. So I think I think the initial decision was based upon miscommunication and lack of ability on the licensee to properly articulate. So I don't, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. I don't ever remember a board saying we're rescinding the license. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I mean, is that an immediate termination of a license when there's actually at the time no basis for it?
Well,
I mean, I can.
that's why I think, Mr. Kim, I'm advising the board to have you put your legal position in writing.
Okay.
Okay. So
Well,
that we can review, so I can review it and I can advise them on the legalities of a license that was rescinded, a license that can't be reissued because it's a Class B plus. There are no more Class B plus licenses, and they were not in operation for several months. And I think they've been not in operation now for what, 7, 8 months? So
I think
just,
since October. I think my
yeah,
recollection is October of last year.
yeah,
So I guess it'd be 5 months,
yeah. So
maybe 6 months.
that is my recommendation, Mr. Chair, is to have a written memorandum or whatever we want to call it, just letting him assert how legally this can be done.
Yes.
And he may be right, but I think we need it in writing.
Okay,
Okay.
so then that raises an issue. So the filing deadline for a Class B plus or B license is April 1. Would how would the board handle the renewal process? I mean, I am working with the client to get the application for renewal ready to be filed. Would the board accept the renewal application pending this decision?
My advice is to allow them to file the renewal application, hold in abeyance the processing of that renewal application until you make a
Okay.
decision. That would be my advice. So
Okay.
so that can be preserved.
So are we all, I'm sorry, somebody was going to say something.
No, I'm just saying that's exactly what the board will do, just as suggested by council.
Okay, so you will allow us to go ahead and file the renewal application. Board will hold it in abeyance, and I will be given an opportunity to submit a memorandum as to um, that the board's action to rescind the license can be reversed or
Well,
can be
it can be
reconsidered.
reconsidered, and based on all of the facts that we have in this particular case, mainly that I think rescinding the license is tantamount to revoking the license. Okay, but if you have case law that suggests anything different, obviously we can listen. But if it was revoked, what legal authority does the board have to reissue a license that, number one, is dead and can't be brought back through a Class B plus process? And what
Mr.
factor
Wilson, go
and
ahead.
what factors in the length of time that they have been without an address, a physical location? And I'm not saying you're wrong, Mr. Kim. I'm just saying we need the record to be built on how we can do this, because this is unique. this is not reissuing a Class B plus license or Class A, like class some other class of license that are still on the books. Class B plus licenses can't be
Well, Mr.
reissued.
Deloach, let me ask you a question. So when you, again, I'm not sure what rescinding the license means, because I've not, I don't think that word exists in the rules and regulations. So in order for a license to be revoked, doesn't there have to be a violation and a full hearing, a public hearing on the process of revoking a license? So I mean, I guess my thought process is I'm not sure the board had the authority to revoke a license when they were asking basically to find a relocation space. I mean, I'm aware of a liquor license, a Class A license that's sitting out there. It's been out there for 2 years to try to relocate somewhere. So and the board has been gracious in many cases to allow licensees to not go out of business and not lose their lifetime investment.
Well,
So
that's the kind of stuff that we need. Okay. I mean, that's what we need. Your client, I believe they were unrepresented at the time.
no,
I
and
can
you're
get
right, you're right. And I'm not even
okay.
sure they even had a hearing. I think they just sent a letter and the board made a decision as an administrative session, not there was no public hearing. Again, I think if for a revocation, I'm gonna for lack of a better way to describe the rescinding of the license, I'm going to treat it as a sort of I guess, a board's revocation of the license. I think that requires a public hearing and a process for parties to come in and make their case as to why it shouldn't be revoked. I mean, revocation, again, I've been doing this for over 40 years. I've only remember maybe 2 revocations in 40 years, and that's after contentious public hearings. I remember one going till 3 o'clock in the morning. So it's not. I thought when I read the decision of the board, I said, "Well, that doesn't make sense." I mean, they weren't even talking about having a license revoked, and all of a sudden there's a rescinding of a license. So I mean, I don't have a problem with Mr. Deloach's recommendation of submitting a written. I guess written memorandum and maybe even coming before the board for a public hearing to let the board know what they really want to do. But in order for, I guess, in order for the board to reconsider the putting the license back in play is to basically say, well, maybe it shouldn't have been rescinded. That if we're going to revoke a license or take somebody's license away, there should have been a public hearing. And that's really the thought process that I had. And again, I think if you listen to the licensees' plans, I mean, they just want to keep the license. They want to be able to relocate it somewhere to operate a restaurant / liquor store, or see if you can find a third-party purchaser who wants to buy it and do the same thing. And, they're done with this adult entertainment process. I don't think anybody wants it. I don't think the county wants it. And I'm sure the board doesn't want it. So I'll be more than happy to do that. I just wanted to clarify that we can renew the license. The board will hold it in abeyance, and you'll give me a few days to submit a memorandum to try to convince the board that the board should reconsider it. That the board does have authority to do this, or that the board shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Well, and the one thing that I do want you, if you could, and we can talk offline on this, Mr. Kim, if you can address, the fact that and provide whatever excuse you want on behalf of your client as to why they didn't appeal the decision. Okay, within the 30 days.
Is the
action, the rescission of the license, and how if you can put that in there too, whatever argument you have on that.
They didn't. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll talk to them. I mean, I think they just didn't understand what happened. I mean, when
that may be true.
Yeah. When I was contacted, I said, then we want to renew. I said, well, send me I'll go ahead and start the renewal process. And then I found out there was a request and a rescind, the board to rescind the license. And well, how did the heck that happen? So again, when I saw the proposal request to the board, I understood. I can see why the board misunderstood their statements because it didn't make sense to me. I mean, the fact that you have a dispute with the landlord is really not the board's concern. I mean, that's they could have said, hey, we're vacating the premises. I think the rules provide for notice to the board to vacate the premises. But it also allows the board to give the licensees time to find a relocation space as long as they're there's communication to the board as to their thought process and their attempts to relocate. And that's what they should have done, not the landlord we were having a fight with the landlord.
Yeah, and that's sort of I think initially, why didn't they ask for this in January? But not to go back and forth right now. I mean, and I know they weren't represented by you and all of that, but if you could put all of that in writing, then we can build a record of what the legal arguments are and see where we come out on this, as far as, what the board wants to do.
That's fine. How much time, Mr. Commissioner, or Mr. Chairman, how much time may I have to file this
30 days, 30 days?
Yeah, let's do 30 days, Mr.
Okay,
Camacho.
30 days to file memo. And then renewal, accept, hold in abeyance. Okay. And then if the board can certainly make a decision on whether you want to have a public hearing on it, and that's certainly acceptable to us. But I will go ahead and get something filed sooner than later.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, so the motion was to have him submit his documentation in writing to the board.
Correct.
Do you want us to do a motion?
Well, no, Director, I think I'm gonna not documentation, but a memorandum in support of our request for reconsideration and issuance of the license and allow us to renew. It'll be a memorandum of law and a lot of begging, I'm sure.
But
So
yes,
do we need-
Ms.
we need-
Ms. Norman, you can make that motion to.
Yes.
Before you
just
make
say-
it, can you also include the renewal piece so we can add that to the letter? Thank you.
All right, so this is Commissioner Norman. I motion that we first of all do a continuance for this to allow the attorney to give us a written memorandum to support his case. We'll allow 30 days for that. Also, in that, given the renewal time, that we will allow them to file for an application of renewal that we will hold until such time this has been able to be resolved.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
Commissioner Sparkman, I second.
Okay. Since the importance of this motion, we should take an actual vote, so let's do that. Commissioner Sparkman,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Norman,
Aye.
and Vice Chair votes aye. Motion carries.
Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Camacho, I'll move on to the next item. Item number 7, I do believe is where I am. Let me just check. Your
Yes,
indulgence.
correct.
Yes.
All right. Item number 7, Leslie's Grill, located at 6211 Baltimore Avenue, Riverdale, Maryland, 20737. 20737. See letter dated March 16th, 2026, regarding a request for the board to continue their show cause hearing to May 13th, 2026. What would you like to do with this?
You can do this by unanimous consent. Any opposition?
No.
Hearing none, motion passes.
Great. Acapulco Restaurant and Grill, located at 643 Main Street, Laurel, 20707. See letter dated March 17th, 2026, regarding a request to revise the approved application from July 9th, 2025. The revision relates to the membership interest for both licensees, which should be updated to the following. And you see the old membership as well as the new membership.
So noted.
We believe we
No,
need
I
to.
think we
We
need
have to vote
We
on
need
it?
a motion here, yeah, because we're
Motion.
changing ownership.
All righty.
So
This is Commissioner Norman. I motion that we approve the change of the new membership interest to Daniel Sansino, 51%,
Santizo,
Sanciso, and then Maria Sanciso to 49%.
okay.
Sparkman, I second.
Good. Let's do this by vote then. Commissioner Sparkman,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Norman,
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously.
All right, I'll call the next case. Item number 9, Tempu Restaurant located at 9424 Annapolis Road, Atlanta, Maryland, 20706. See letter dated March 18th, 2026 regarding notification that the establishment was temporarily closed on March 10th through the 11th, 2026 due to flood. The establishment was reopened to the public on March 12th, 2026.
So noted.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Item number 10, renewal requirement. The fire capacity certificates. See letter dated March 19th, 2026 from Linda Carter Esquire, Leanne Schreckengoss, as well as Mr. Kim, regarding a request to accept the renewal applications without the fire capacity certificate and also waive the extension fee. What would you like to do with this?
So, Mr. Camacho, why don't we extend this, given that this is an issue beyond their control, it's the issues with the fire department. So what do we think is reasonable to extend this for a year to give them opportunity, or to expend it for, 6 months, give people, how do we want to do this?
Well, I think we should at least get proof that they've made an effort before renewal. In other words, can they pay the application fee and show a receipt that it's been paid, that it's a good faith effort on their part? They don't have to have the certificate.
Okay, so what we want to say is that we will allow a year extension to get the fire capacity certificate, as long as they can show proof that they've already scheduled and applied for that
Before the renewal. Correct.
Okay,
Unacceptable. Okay.
that's good. Everybody, we're good with that, and I'll do a motion. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is Commissioner Norman. We will allow an extension for 1 year upon renewal, that the licensee provides that they have paid for the application for the fire capacity certificate.
Very good. Is there a second?
Commissioner Sparkman, I second.
Okay, we can do this by unanimous consent. Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr.
Commissioner Norman.
All right, item number 11, Lake Presidential Golf. See letter dated March 19th, 2026, regarding a request to approve a change in stockholder percentages to accommodate the decanting of several trusts and to add Staples Community Property Trust and CKS MAS 2024 decanting trust for FBO, W. Whitfield Staples as stockholders. You see the old ownership listed as well as the new ownership. What would you like to do with this?
We'll have to take a vote on this, but it equals out to 100%. So can we take a vote to approve the transfer of ownership?
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
So,
So I propose that we approve the listed ownership list for Lake Presidential Golf Club.
okay. Is there a second?
Commissioner Sparkman, I second.
Okay, we can do this by unanimous consent. Any objection? It's been approved.
Thank you. Number 12, Glassbox Paddle Club. See letter dated March 20th, 2026, regarding a request to continue the request for a new Class D beer and wine license to the next hearing scheduled for April the 28th, 2026. What would you like to do with this?
We'll approve the extension till the 28th.
Okay.
Commissioner Camacho, this is Catrice. The
Yes.
April 28th hearing is for a Class B beer, wine, and liquor hearing.
So what's the
And this
date
is
that
a
we
D.
need that
Yeah,
we'll
what's the
review?
D?
The next Class D beer and wine is scheduled for June 23rd.
What we're asking for, though, if I can interrupt, is just a continuance of this application. There were only 2 applicants out of the 4. Glass Box Paddle is really only a 6th or 7th month operation. They do have a building that's got a UNO, but their courts are all outside. So if we don't go until June, their season is over.
So you're saying this is an application?
Correct. It's an application
Oh,
for a new license.
okay.
It should have been scheduled for today, but we had an issue and we needed to continue it 1 month. And the
So
board
what
has done this.
you're basically asking for a continuance of the application.
Correct. Thank you so much.
So
Okay.
Commissioner, I'm sorry, Director, can we move this as part of the 28th since it's a continuance of the application?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, so why don't we do that? We will continue this application until April 28th. We'll
We can
approve
do this
this.
by unanimous consent. If there's no opposition, action taken.
Thank you. I'll
Alrighty.
call the next case. Item number 13 is a Class B 2026-2027 renewal extension. We have one. This is Redstone American Grill. What would you like to do with that?
They've paid the renewal fee and everything?
They paid the extension fee.
It's an extension fee. Okay, that's fine. We'll approve that.
Move to approve. Any objection? Motion passes.
All right. Item number 14, minutes for March the 11th, regular session, as well as the administrative voting session for March the 11th as well. What would you like to do with this? I'm sorry, these
By
are the
unanimous
minutes.
consent, any objection?
Nope.
No. Okay, minutes are approved.
Monthly quarterly productivity report for February of 2026. I'll need this accepted if there are no questions.
No questions for me.
Okay, then we can do this by unanimous consent. Any objection? Motion passes.
All right. Scheduled meetings for April, May, and June. As always, I would ask if any of our commissioners are not going to be available for any of the hearings, please be sure to let me know.
Not
So
for the
that-
June.
Okay. Mr. Camacho, thank you for that.
Either will I.
Miss Carter, we can see you.
I know. I'm not happy. I like our board. It's a good working combination. Everybody gets along well. There's never fighting, even when there's disagreements. It's always
Fighting? Really? Was there ever fighting? I saw a couple of
Oh,
attempted fisticuffs.
yeah,
that's about it.
you remember those days, Mr. Camacho.
Yeah.
All right. That concludes the administrative voting session for March 24th, 2026. Thank you, everyone. Wish everyone a good day.
All right.
Have a good day.
Enjoy the rest of the day. Well, I hope it warms up.